motorbike.
It's a motorbike.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance this border will cross the road. I mean, I've had instances where I've almost gone down because of bicycles, both in Kenya, in Rwanda. Bicycles who are going straight, headed away from me, and all of a sudden, the guy goes slowly and then just nonchalantly swerves the bike in and out of my lane.
Yeah.
And totally unexpected.
Aye.
Totally unexpected. I'd like to say with biking,
Mhm.
when you get surprised, the results are generally not good.
Yeah.
When you get surprised. If you're able to look and see and anticipate, you can basically control your bike and But when you're not attentive, when you are, and there are certain safety tips like a full meal, you eat too much, it's very easy to get
Yeah.
Yeah.
alcohol.
It's a no.
That is a no-no if you are
Yeah.
if you are driving any machine, because what alcohol does, it dulls your perception, it dulls your ability to anticipate, and it dulls your reaction time. And at certain speeds, all you have is reaction time.
Yeah.
You see an object and you start maneuvering. Because on a bike, there are only two things really that you can do to avoid an accident. Only two. Either you brake, you change your speed, or you change your direction. Those are the only two things you can do.
Yeah.
You change your
True.
speed,
Or change direction.
change direction.
I've never thought about
Either you
it.
brake or you turn. That's it.
If you turn it, you can go anywhere. Can be the trenches.
But you possibly can
Yeah.
in a trench. If you brake, depending on bike, you can skid. Depending on terrain, if it's greasy, if there's something you have not seen.
Yeah.
Even the type of the bike. Yeah.
Depending on the type of bikes, bikes have different braking capacities. The technology on them for brakes is different.
Yeah.
The smaller bikes generally don't have
Any technology.
assistance.
Zero.
So I mean, if I may just segue into an accident I had in Uganda. I had gone riding as I normally do to fetch. I was with Tish and a lady Kenyan girl.
Yeah.
Havana.
Yeah.
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 And we had gone to welcome a couple of ladies coming riding small bikes, riding from
Kenya,
Kenya.
Uganda too. Yeah.
And I thought, even though it's a road ride, the GS would be just too much.
Yeah.
Because they were coming in with, I think, 180s or
Yeah. The 100cc and the 150. Yeah.
150s.
Yeah.
So I thought, you can't really ride a GS at the pace of a.
The 150cc.
Yep.
So I went in, I had a full meal. I had a Tusker beer. And I thought, it's not far. It's from Barara to Kigali. A distance I've done so many times, I can do it blindfold. And I had a very heavy meal. When I set up on the bike, I decided to ride behind everybody.
Oh, to be the tail.
Yeah.
Which is my normal
Position, yeah.
in group.
Yeah.
Because if I ride in front,
You will leave.
I will just leave everybody behind. I'll forget.
Yeah.
So I need to see the people in front of me. Otherwise I will forget. And we were riding along, and I started feeling drowsy. And then a bus overtook us, and I thought, a chance to wake myself up, just go past the bus. And again, like I said, it takes 1 split second of lack of attention. When I got to the bus and started going up, I realized it was a blind race.
Whoa.
Now, as I said, you can either change speed or
Change direction.
I couldn't change direction because
There's a bus.
already on my left. So what did I try to do? I tried to change speed.
Speed.
I was not riding my GS. I was riding a
Dear. Yeah.
The pickup is not the same. So when I got to the middle of the bus, then there was a Harrier barreling down over the crest of the hill. There was nothing to do. I mean, I looked at it and I really saw death coming. Jeez, this is how it ends. But I had the presence of mind to hit the rear brake a little bit, and I was able to swerve in between
The bus and the Harrier.
Bus.
and that.
Yeah.
That is what averted the full
Head-on.
Full head on.
Yeah.
That little move averted. So the Harrier hit me on the outside of my leg. On the outside. Outside. Just a brush. But with enough force to break my fibula and dislocate my tibia out of the foot. And it fell.
Yeah.
So I was in pain. My foot was seriously distressed, but I cannot overemphasize the benefit of good care. I came out of that, which is quite major, with zero injuries apart from my ankle. Apart from my ankle, there was nothing else. My head was okay. The team helped me, Tish, the ladies, they came to remove my helmet and all that. At first, they were a little bit hesitant about removing my helmet.
Yeah, because you don't know. Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah. What happened?
There was no issue. By the time they were moving, I said, I was lucid. I said, please remove my helmet while I can still talk. So if you're hurting me,
I will respond. Yeah.
I can respond.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I said, just look me in the eye. As you remove it, you will see if my eyes get cloudy with pain. There was absolutely no pain. I had no pain anywhere except my ankle. Now, that has taken a long story. My very frequent riding days have been suspended when I can, but I'm still nursing that injury, and it's now 2.5 years. In July 3rd, it will be 3 years. Hopefully by then I will go back to full-time. But it was a split second. It was a combination of factors, but mainly it was a split second of inattention. And that inattention was created by my comfortable, almost sleepy state, having a full meal and a beer. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't overemphasize. I know that, especially here, some of the guys, their idea of riding is to ride from one pub to another and take down copious amounts of
Alcohol.
And then ride back. So it doesn't mean that every time you do it, you're going to get an accident.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that any time you do it, you're going to get an accident. But the odds are against you. You can find old bikers. You can find old drunkards, but you cannot find old bikers who drink and ride.
Choose your poison. Choose your poison. Choose one poison. Okay. That's a touching story, and I think from my end, before Tish asks what he wants to ask, I think for me it's commendation on the journey you've taken personally. We've seen from the time the accident started to your own effort and zeal to say, there was a point I was saying that Paul is done with riding. Then I come to visit him. You know what he tells me? It's 45 days to riding. Like him to recover is to go back.
He has a countdown.
Yeah, it's to go back into riding, which is quite interesting at that point. But also the push of knowing I'm recovering also not for myself, but for other people who've been through accidents, because we have a lot of people.
Yeah.
And when they see you've recovered and you're back to biking, I think it means a lot for also the community as well. Tish.
Yeah, that was deep. It has taken me like a while back on what happened. But anyway, we are back.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so the funny thing, it happens when you have that accident, because also I had the same few months. Actually, it was few months after you. Yes, few months after you. So when some people, they see your back riding, they're like, bro, don't you love yourself? Because actually people, they've been asking me, Tisha, are you riding? So I'm like, yeah, I'm riding. What do you mean? They're like, are you not scared? I'm like, whatever I was scared about, it happened. It has already happened. And I've learned about it. Yeah. So Paul, I have one question for you. What is your number one safety idea, or what makes you when you're riding, you feel like you have to be safe. Either you as a passenger, to the pedestrian, or to the someone who is driving. Because also you might be riding well, you are good, you are maintaining everything, all the traffic rule, but also someone might make you have an accident, which is not your fault either way. So by the end of the day, what is that number one thing that you make sure with this, maintaining that safety within me and the third party being the cages and the pedestrian?
Um, I think it's just being attentive. I think it's anticipating. It's being alert. As a rider, you need to avoid the vehicle coming towards you,
Yep.
the vehicle coming behind you,
you.
the vehicles on the side, and with the border nightmares, you actually need to be extremely alert as to watch borders because they have economic pressures to hit financial targets, which a lot of times takes priority in their minds
Over everything.
over safety, over everything. So I even tell my kids when they drive that a lone motor, a rider, a motorcycle taxi, a lone one without a passenger is like a lone buffalo. It's one of the most dangerous obstacles in the road.
True.
A lone motor, a motor riding alone.
Yeah.
If he's got a passenger, he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
If he's riding alone, he's looking for a
For
passenger.
customer.
Yeah.
The minute he thinks that the person on the other side of the road might be a passenger, this guy is turning in front of you.
I've had
Yeah.
an accident. Of that,
He's
yeah.
turning in front of you. I mean, he doesn't even think beyond, I need to get a passenger before somebody else gets it. So you need to be alert to that fact. So some of the fundamental safety tips I can give you is be well rested.
Yeah.
Don't go drinking the whole night and then go riding the following day. Be well rested. That's one. Two, be in a good space in your head. Don't quarrel with your neighbor
Yeah.
and then get on a bike. What you're gonna do is take out that stress on the truck. That's what you're gonna. You won't. It'll take you some time before you realize that you have twisted the throttle beyond what is common sense because it's not on the bike. You are taking out your aggression on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, in an agitated state of mind, you are more likely to try to fight with a car. When you think this guy is doing something stupid, you are
And
more
to-
likely to go after him. And
You want to teach him a lesson.
unfortunately, the relationship between a motorcycle and a car is
Very
the same
different.
relationship between an egg and a stone. It doesn't.
Interesting. Yeah.
There's only one person suffering. yeah. Yeah. Okay. So on the same thing, which I think Tish
Yeah.
would want to touch on as well, is basically on also the community. What do you think is the important part in terms of training? Do you think they should start on training, proper training, or should they just start riding and then get a 1000cc and go?
If I go back to my beginning, for example, to answer your question, when I started in Botswana, I was riding the Bajaj 100 and I bought a 500cc Ninja. There was another friend of mine who started riding, did not practice. All he wanted to do was just get through the test. So he went for very few classes, got through the test, got a license, bought an R1.
Whoa. Whoa.
No. Hey.
We went for our license, I think, on a Friday. On the Monday, we landed up in the middle of one of the roundabouts in Botswana.
Yeah, because it's an R1.
He couldn't take the turn. He couldn't. He tried to brake. He couldn't brake it, and he couldn't turn, and he hit the curb of the roundabout and somersaulted, ended up in the middle. And that was the end of his riding. He never rode again. And this is extreme, but it just tells you that